This is not a new issue, and The Guardian has done great work on this issue, as have a lot of local media in Kenya and Uganda. But the thing that really struck me about it was like Saudi Arabia is changing so quickly. It's an autocracy. There's one guy who can change laws or law enforcement overnight and has done it many times. Why is this persistent? And the reason that's given in a lot of the coverage is like the archaic Saudi labor laws, this sort of nebulous thing, which seemed really bogus because it's a country that can very quickly change its laws. So what we started looking into was who's making money on the system as it is now, who makes money in a system that doesn't have any protections for the women. And we looking at corporate records and kind of talking to sources and pulling as much public information as we could, we sort of figured out who the ownership structures of these companies and their relationships to government officials.
Right, so how easy was it to get the story off the ground and commissioned? I mean, this is sort of totally off normal agenda. You know, the world's attention is all facing one way. And this is sort of, I mean, it's not an unreported story, but it's a story that's hard to get people's attention for.
Yeah, I think from the minute, we approached the editors, I think they were very, very interested. I think the big question was only, just as I said, how ambitious could we get with it? And also, how are we going to connect the dots in the sense of, are we going to, finding the companies was part of the story, and then finding those companies and their links to these politicians and the Saudi royals was another part of the story. And then again, linking, those companies and these politicians to actually cases of abuse, like domestic workers who had actually gone with these companies and who were lured and were abused throughout the entire process from leaving East Africa into Saudi Arabia. I think there was interest from the editors from the get-go, but I think the big thing that we had was connecting all these dots and actually, producing a story that linked all of these aspects together.